What the Rock, Fergie Edition. The name Fergie has had a long GLAMOUS history as the nickname of choice for Fergusons throughout history, such as Barry, the Scottish soccer player, Sarah, the Duchess of York, and Stacey Ann, the singer. Oh, Fergie, my first memory of you were those creepy metallic background vocals for Let's Get It Started by the Black Eyed Peas, which, of course, began its life as Let's Get Retarded, but, I mean, you changed the title, so what if it still has the Get Stupid line in there? I'm sure that the mentally challenged and their friends really appreciate it. Anyway, Fergie was allowed a more prominent appearance in Don't Funk With My Heart, and that P to the H to the UNKO, that's misspelled, engendered her love of creative musical spelling. While that and some of her fellow Ps, one of which, Will.I.Am, did a little role reversal when he sang background vocals for her single, Fergalicious, after she split with Black Eyed Peas. Spelling tasty, T to the A to the S-T-E-Y, girl, you tasty. And he would know, I guess. In the song, Fergie claims that boys claim to know her and call her Stacey, so apparently she doesn't want to be called Stacey anymore and just wants to be Fergie forever. But as we all know, in the Fergie world, you're only Fergie for as long as you're the best Ferguson out there. So, you better work at it. Stay on top, Fergie. You know what she needs, of course, rehab. I hear Mavis Beacon's opening a facility in Long Beach. TASD. Why? Okay. Anyway, on a kind of weird tangent, I think that Fergie looks a lot like actress Marcia Cross. I think it's the eyes. Miss Cross, as you probably know, plays the neurotic homemaker Bree Hodge, who is currently the least desperate housewife. After long thought and numerous bribes from the actresses, I've decided that Susan, who is pregnant and married to a drug addict, is the most desperate housewife, followed closely by new girl Catherine, who's trying to cover up something that happened in Chicago and whose daughter can't seem to remember her childhood. Creepy. Next is Gabrielle, whose old politician husband just died, leaving her free to marry her lover and ex-husband Carlos, who is now both broke and blind, but she doesn't know it yet. After her comes Lynette, who used to be on top for ages, but with her cancer and her chemo and her eating special pot brownies and the tornado demolishing the house where her whole family was hiding, and she was screaming, "No! No!" at the end of that episode, and it was like, oh my god, I almost cried. But then in the next one, she took this really dramatic fall in desperation when her family's just fine, and so she's not really that desperate at all. But she's more desperate than Bree, who's just raising her teenage daughter's baby as her own and bribing her gay son to hit on her roofer. Boo-hoo. I also didn't include Tom and Lee, who's the new gay couple, which I love that they're a gay couple, but they're not like idolized or anything, because Lee is just as bitchy as the rest of them. But they're kind of new, so I wasn't able to get a judgment of how desperate they are. I mean, one of their suits got ruined, but I mean... Anyway, so they weren't counted, and Edie wasn't counted either because since her engagement to Carlos didn't work out, she's not really a housewife. So, yeah, so she wasn't included either, and she's not really desperate anyway. What the Rock? Hey, I'm just still here to let you guys know that was meant as more of a tribute than a satire. This is a satire I've gotten like the glasses and everything, but I love What the Buck. He's like my favorite person on YouTube, pretty much, and I just kept thinking, like, he should do an episode on one of this stuff, and I'm like, well, what the heck, I'll make it. So, you know, don't write me nasty letters saying, like, What the Buck's great, blah, 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 because I know that already. Yeah. This episode of Roddy on 7X brought to you by The Calculator. Important in schools, not only by helping children to do math, but also for helping them to communicate.